You won't believe how easy this is and how delicious it is. If you want to find out how it's done, stick around and I'll show you.
I'm going to be focusing on Cumbrian food. So without no further ado, let's get into this. This recipe is my version of stuffed chicken breast, really. Every ingredient that you see that I'm using, unless otherwise stated, is from our local butchers in the area. First of all, I'm going to start by butterflying my chicken breast, and hopefully my knife is lovely and sharp. So fingers on the top until you're near the end, and then open it up. And there you have your butterflied chicken breast. So once you've butterflied your chicken breast, it's time to batter it out a bit, she says. We want to even the distribution of the meat out so that it's easier for us to deal with. And it makes the cooking time a lot more even, should we say. So take one of your chicken breasts and put it between a piece of cling film. Fold over your cling film and then, excuse the noise, but give it a little bat. Once you've done that, pick it up, put it to one side and do the rest of them. Yeah. I'm going to be stuffing this chicken breast with some award-winning Cumberland sausage from our local butchers. Now our local butchers is Cranstons, and they've won a lot of awards for their meat and their poultry and also their sausage. And if you didn't know, Cumberland sausage, says brandishing her rolling pin, Cumberland sausage you can only get in Cumberland. It's like the Cornish pasty. You can only buy it in Cornwall. If it's outside of Cornwall, it can't be, and you make it outside of Cornwall, it can't be a Cornish pasty. So Cumberland sausage is from Cumbria, nowhere else. Okay, vent your anxiety on it, and I have a lot at the moment, so there you go. Pretend it's your worst enemy in there. This is an easy dish to make. All you need is a little bit of time, and by a little I do mean a little. As you can see on this one, it's a little bit sparse in this area here, so I'm trying to keep away from that area. There we go. Our last chicken breast. Now our local butchers has been around for decades. There you go. His dad started out in a horse and cart back in around, I think it was 1915-ish, and they quickly expanded because they got a good name for themselves. I'm just going to put this to one side. What you need to do is take some sausage. Now it can be any sausage you want. This is Cumberland farmhouse sausage, as you can see here. My chicken was from my butcher as well, and that was soy fed and free range chicken from a farmer in the local area. Stanley Cranston started the business on his horse and cart, delivering to homes in the area, and quickly got a good reputation for himself. Needless to say, he doesn't deliver on a horse and cart anymore. But there's bound to be a good butcher in your local area that you can go to, and butchers these days are dying out. It tends to be the supermarkets that are taking over these days, and I think we should all support our local businesses because it's getting more and more difficult for businesses, especially local ones today, to actually keep going because of the supermarkets. If you do have a butcher in your area, please support your local butcher. I'm going to use 4 of these sausages, 1 each I think, and what this will do is the herbs and spices within the Cumberland sausage will help to keep the chicken nice and moist during the cooking process. And I'm going to add to this just a little bit of seasoning in the form of another local ingredient. We've got sweet mustard, we've got sweet mustard mustard ketchup here. And this is from the Wild and Fruitful company that are based in, wait for it, Keswick. This is not as spicy as it looks. It's quite sweet actually. It's fruity more than anything. Put about a tablespoon in there. And I'm going to mix that in. And to look at the ingredients in here, you've got mustard obviously, vinegar, sugar, salt, turmeric and white wine vinegar. So if you're in the area, pick yourself up something from the Wild and Fruitful company. They do more than just mustard ketchup, they do a range of items. Get yourself a look at that. So I'm just going to chop all this into each other in here. The thing about buying local produce as well, not just that it supports your local butcher, it actually supports your local farmers in the area as well, because they tend to get their produce from farms in the area. And I know Cranstons, my butchers, actually gets their stuff within a 40-mile radius of where they are, and they're based in, I think they're based in Penrith, but they have 6 other shops within the area. Now then, a good idea for this is to wet your hands as you do it. It just helps the mixture come off your gloves and your hands so much more easily. So taking your chicken breast, take your sausage meat and divide it into 4. They should be roughly the same size, and just work them into a nice shape. Give them a little squeeze, pop it right in the middle, and then we're going to fold over and fold over, and we're going to tuck it in as well. Now don't worry too much about this at this moment, because we're going to secure it later on with some bacon. So all we need now is for a cocktail stick to stick in the middle to hold it together. So I'm going to wrap my chicken so everything stays in place in bacon. Now this is pancetta style bacon, which I obtained again from my local butchers, and it is actually made in the area and smoked at Eden Smokery. So let's have a look. Nice and thick. What this does is it helps to keep everything together and adds a subtle smoky flavour to the finished dish. If you don't have this in your area, or you haven't got pancetta or anything, then use streaky bacon, smoked streaky bacon, or plain if you want to. Take 2 strips of my pancetta style bacon, take out the skewer and place my chicken on top. I'm going to salt. So salt and pepper your chicken while they're on the plate. And then I'm going to use something here that I have never seen before, but I've tasted it and it's gorgeous. Thyme jelly. And this is from Kirby Stephen, which is again near where I live. It smells like, if you've ever had mint sauce, it smells like that, but with thyme in it instead of the mint. And I tasted it before and it's gorgeous, and it's got sugar, white wine vinegar, pectin and, wait for it, thyme. So I'm going to take some of this and put it on top of my chicken, because thyme and chicken work really well together. So we're going to put a bit of that underneath my bacon, and then I'm going to wrap this over and tuck it under, wrap it over and tuck it under. So we're going to secure it in the foil, and what this will do is it will keep all the juices in and help your chicken be really flavourful. So, like a present, fold it over, turn down the sides and turn them in. There we go, and that'll make sure that everything in there is secure. And pop that to one side for now. And then we're going to do the next one.
Once you've assembled all your chicken breasts, it's time to put them in the oven. Gas mark 7 for about 20 minutes and then take the foil off and put them in for a further 15 to 20 minutes, depending on your oven. It should reach a temperature of 74 degrees inside. I'll put the conversions on the screen now for you.
So while my chicken is in the oven, I am going to prepare a light sauce for my chicken. So I've got some stock here, which I'm gonna reduce. Now, unfortunately, I could not find anywhere some chicken stock that was made in Cumbria. I could have made my own, yes, and I have some in the freezer, but I thought I would use something that was bought. So this is a good quality chicken stock anyway. So I'm going to reduce this down. By reduce, I just mean boiling it until it reduces by at least half. So to give this a little bit of flavour and to marry it along with my chicken, I'm going to add some of the mustard ketchup we've got. About a dessert spoon, because I don't want to overpower it. Along with a heaped teaspoon of thyme jelly. Okay. So that's probably more like a dessert spoon there. I'm going to let that reduce. It was a little bit salty to start off with, but that's lovely. If anything, it could do with a little bit more of this jelly. So I'm going to take a bit from the bottom, which has got a lot more of the thyme in it. Put that in there, just to help it along. Now then, I'll just pop this off for a moment because my chicken is ready to. So open it up. So as you can see, it's getting there. And make a little parcel out of it. So we'll just do that. Hallelujah. Just be careful of your hands, because I've just hurt my hand. There you go. There's another one. It smells delicious, I have to say. Now, if you don't want to crisp the bacon up in the oven, you can crisp it up in the air fryer, which is just as good. Just keep an eye on it, because I don't know what the timings are. And I'm going to cook this for about 15 minutes, because it's just about done. And I'm going to make a quick slurry with a couple of teaspoons of corn flour and a little bit of water. So I'm going to add my cornstarch to my stock. Don't think it will take a lot. A little bit more. And then we just cook that out for a few minutes. And by the time that's done, the vegetables will be done and the chicken, and we'll be ready to go. This is my Cumbrian stuffed chicken. There you go, look at that. Isn't that a delight? Look at that. Let's see how it tastes. That's the main thing. What does it taste like? Let me see. With that sauce. Oh, that's good. But of course it's good. It's all Cumbrian. So to round up, it's a good idea to buy from your local butchers, because it supports your butcher and it supports the farmers and producers in the area. If you like what I'm doing, hit me up with a thumbs up, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Leave me a comment below if you've ever made anything similar and what you call it. And let me know what other recipes that you want me to do. I would be honoured if you would let me know, and I'll give it a whirl. Anyway, for now, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Liz out.